I was going to say, especially that first step. So what, obviously kind of get into the big meat of the season. Now you got Bowling Green at Bowling Green, always a tough place to play. Next week, obviously, you don't want to look too far ahead, but you got some decent matchups coming up soon. So what is next for this team? Obviously, you get a well-deserved, night tonight, but what is next for Scott County football coming Monday?
We just take it one day at a time. Until we get to that Friday, we're going to, keep our heads down, just get straight to work.
So, what is one thing maybe coming out of this game, or one player that you might want to shout out that wasn't maybe talked about as much, or somebody you really thought impacted the game that was maybe a new name, or somebody that, was a high-impact guy?
Cole Salmon, he was the one that really helped me out on that first run. All my other runs, he set up that trap block, and without him, without my whole line, I wouldn't be here. But Cole Salmon's really helped a lot. It's his first year starting varsity, so he's a good player.
Kaz, did you cover the total yards so far?
No, I haven't yet.
Skylar, at halftime, you had 171 total yards on just 6 carries. Did you know I see your face. Did you know you had that many yards in the first half?
I broke 200.
Well, you had over 1,200 rushing yards last year. I mean, you have 171 plus what you had last season or week 1 game. How do you plan to use what you've done last weekend, kind of this week versus Great Crossing, going into your Bowling Green and then your district games?
Just continue working hard. That's it, man. Yeah. If you ain't working hard, you just can't be good. You got to go 100% every single day. That's it.
Skylar, congratulations, our player of the game presented by Center Point Health. We'll take a break and be right back. We'll talk with the head coach, Coach McKee, and wrap up the game. This is the Scott County Football Postgame Show on Conner Sports Talk. We'll be right back.
Can't fit the car in the garage anymore? Or the guest bedroom is overrun with junk? It's time for a Rumpke open-top dumpster. Rumpke offers open-top dumpsters in a variety of sizes and are often delivered the next day. You fill the container with unwanted material on your schedule, and Rumpke takes care of the rest. Don't wait to reclaim your space. Contact the waste and recycling experts at Rumpke today. Rumpke, waste and recycling, done right.
And we are back here at Cardinal Stadium after Scott County takes down a crosstown opponent, Great Crossing. Kaz, we saw a great, first half from the Scott County offense. And then as they come out, defense maybe showed some short links, but overall, they really took care of business, I thought Scott County did.
Yeah, especially I thought through the first 3 quarters, we did a really good job flying the ball, being effective, and they had a few splash plays here and there, but majority of that fourth quarter, the 10-minute mark, was JV guys. I thought Hunter Vance did a good job. Nick Ranzin had a blow-by touchdown. Did well through all 3 phases. I thought special teams as well. So, we were able to gain yards on punts. Mark had a nice return for that. So, there was a lot of phases in the game we affected. And, beating the team like Great Crossing, that's your rival, first time on this field. So that's great for the team. But again, now you get past probably your 2 maybe high-profile games coming into the year. Now you're getting your meat and potatoes, so to speak, as far as you got Bowling Green, and then you got PRP, you got Madison Central and Collins. Those are 4 teams outside of PRP to me that is, pretty respectable and, could be a tough opponent.
Something we, kind of focused on and tried to make important, I know Coach McKee has done it a lot this week, was the penalties and, the mental aspect. And we'll talk with him later about that when he does come over here and get on the show. But in the first half, Scott County had 3 penalties for 25 yards, and that's really good, and just a couple of personal fouls. But, overall, I think Scott County handled the mental side of the game very well, and we'll see what Coach McKee thinks.
I was going to say, I thought Keller Furnish did a good job, about 2 plays, because they tried to, I think a few of the players on the other side tried to get in his head a little bit. After some good plays that he made, just to add some extracurricular where, he wasn't affected. And he did a good job trying to bat that off and, make it about the game, let his game talk. That's something I think the majority of the players do really well on this team, is just let my game talk and, the rest will take care of itself. So the score, speaks to a solid game. Again, JV was in that whole fourth quarter, but we were still able to get on the board in the fourth quarter. So we did a pretty solid job, I thought, overall.
We will take another break and be right back. Again, Scott County takes down their crosstown rival, Great Crossing. The final score, 42-21. Kaz Clay, Conner Willhite will be back on the Scott County Football Postgame Show.
Rumpke Waste and Recycling. Family is at the heart of all we do. Our name is on every truck, every container, every facility. And we take pride in what our family name represents. Friendly, reliable service. Families trust us. Businesses trust us. Communities trust us. And you can too. Learn more about our family business and the important work we do at rumpke.com. Rumpke. Waste and recycling done right.
Can't fit the car in the garage anymore? Or the guest bedroom is overrun with junk? It's time for a Rumpke open-top dumpster. Rumpke offers open-top dumpsters in a variety of sizes and are often delivered the next day. You fill the container with unwanted material on your schedule, and Rumpke takes care of the rest. Don't wait to reclaim your space. Contact the waste and recycling experts at Rumpke today. Rumpke, waste and recycling, done right.
Kaz Clay back down here on the field after Scott County takes down their crosstown rival, Great Crossing. We are awaiting the Scott County football head coach, Jim McKee. Guys, let's talk about him for a second. You know, he's been around Scott County 30 years, and this is his 35th season overall as a high school football head coach. And I mean, this would have been his ninth time playing this Great Crossing team. And I know you're around the team a lot. What were some of his emotions and some of his thoughts, as well as what you saw from the team going into this game?
Yeah, something he always says is, your team. The only team that can beat you is yourself. You know, if you focus on your team and you focus that your team is the one that's going to win the game and control the game, then you're gonna win a lot more games and you're gonna be a lot more effective. That way, you're able to support your team, support your players. I think Kettler Furnace did a good job, like I said again, battling those emotions that could have happened. Red Owens, the rest of that team in general, Skylar Wade had a really good game. So in general, we did really well. I thought Coach McKee handled it well. Had some passing concepts that I liked, especially on first and early downs, where it would kind of check the defense off guard, where they would normally go inside the Skylar Way or, Ranson or one of those guys, Mongo to the outside, but they were able to, mix it up and go to arrow pass with Kettler Furnace and stretch the field out and get big gains with the air. So, the offense was really effective tonight. I think Coach McKee did a good job just making them focus. Obviously there's going to be extracurriculars with that type of game with a rivalry, but, he kind of said, the only team that can beat you is yourself. And I think that's something that really he preached on throughout the week and helped our team out throughout the game.
Let's talk about how Scott County scored their first half points. They started off Skylar Wade's 69-yard run. That put Scott County on top 7-0. Then Timmy Mongo had the 5-yard punch-in touchdown. It was 14-0. Then Timmy Mongo punched it in 28 yards. And then Kettler Furnace got the 1-yard pass right here, right behind us on this in the end zone on the S. And Kettler made the catch and was able to punch in the touchdown. Coach McKee on his way. We'll take one more break and be right back. This is the Scott County Football Postgame Show on Conner Sports Talk.
Rumpke Waste and Recycling. Family is at the heart of all we do. Our name is on every truck, every container, every facility. And we take pride in what our family name represents. Friendly, reliable service. Families trust us. Businesses trust us. Communities trust us. And you can too. Learn more about our family business and the important work we do at rumpke.com. Rumpke. Waste and recycling done right.
We are back here at Cardinal Stadium after Scott County takes down Great Crossing 42-21. And again, it's their rivalry win, a win that means a lot to this Scott County program. As Kat mentioned earlier, Great Crossing came in here 2 years ago. The first rivalry game played on this field, and Great Crossing dominated that game. You know, Scott County had a few fumbles and just plays that didn't go their way. But Scott County ultimately got their comeback win. Like I said, their comeback win tonight, and really defended their home turf. We talked about the offense, what we've seen from the defense as Coach McKee is walking away. I think he's on his way over here. But Kaz, talk to us a little bit more about what stood out, what you saw from this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously early on we were able to get effective runs up the middle, and Skylar Wade carried a lot of that. Then Timmy Mongo punched one in on the sweep. So we're able to stretch the field out and make different plays. Keller Furnish did a good job through the air. So every facet of the game was pretty effective for the most part. Thought we were able to kind of mix our offense up and do different things. But again, just a great way to win because, again, this is the first time they've won on this field in this rivalry game. So it was great to see, especially for this team, coming off a pretty solid win against a solid Franklin County team. Now starting the season off 2-0, coming up on Bowling Green obviously in Bowling Green. So you got a solid team coming up at their place with a solid and experienced staff. So you got a lot of variables that will test your adversity and see what you got. So I think that's something that Coach McKee will try to kind of nail into them this week. Is the only team that can beat you is yourself. Therefore, that can change a lot of things, and obviously that can drive your team to a positive or a negative, depends on how they take it. So it's gonna be a big week for the team and big week for the squad. Some big games coming up in general though, just like I talked about having PRP, and then you got Madison Central. So those are the next two games at home here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. That's with me and Conner Willhite, as he and Coach McKee seems to make their way over here. So we will get Coach's interview to finish out the post-game show. Conner Willhite and Coach McKee are on their way for the post-game. So Coach is walking over as we'll get his post-game comments from this victory.
Well, Kaz will not be transferring. He's going to stay. He's going to give us one more week.
Coach, big victory over Great Crossing, 42-21.
Are these the finals?
No, that's just the first half stats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen the final stats.
But it's your 8th overall victory and your first win over them right here at Cardinal Stadium. What are you feeling right now after that win?
I mean, I'm happy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you, Kaz?
Yeah.
It's obviously we all live in the same community, and, there are more important things in high school football games. I understand that. But, if football's your thing, it's pretty important to us and pretty important to them, and thought we played really good. Skylar Wade.
He was our center point health player of the game. Talk to us about Skylar's performance tonight.
We gained 171 yards in the first half, all on the same play. Running trap right.
Yep.
And, a lot of his credit, he's fast. He got faster in the spring. He broke 12 in the 100. Coach McIntyre did a good job with him, getting him faster. And our line is like Colt and Nolan and Oswald, none of them are like what you would think about when you think about like a big hulking lineman like Holt. But they're all highly intelligent. And so irregardless of the front you give us, they know how to block it. So they have their little, it's their own terminology, but they all know what they're saying to each other, short, long haired, ace, back, boom, 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 and he's through there and he's gone.
I thought Furnish had another good game, Coach.
Furnish is a good football player,
Kaz. And I thought, something we talked about coming into the game is obviously, like you talked about, football matters a lot here in this county, and I thought he did a good job as far as there was some times where he would make a big play and somebody would try to maybe interrupt it. I thought the whole team did a good job just making their emotions, and something you talk about all the time in the locker room is the only team that can beat us is ourselves. And I think we did a good job as far as trying to weather the storm.
We let it slide there in the second half a little bit. We had some silly penalties in the second half, but in the first half when the game was in the balance, I agree with you, Kaz. I think we did a good job controlling our emotions.
Coach, I want to talk about, you had a packed house here. Every time you have a rivalry game, it's a packed house. It's pretty cool. What is it like to come out? I know y'all are in the locker room, but when you come out right before the game, what are you?
Well, I came out here, when you get, what are you, Conner, 16?
17, yeah.
17, what are you, Kaz, 17? 15. I'm 57 in October, and so I don't know how many more of these I have. And so I actually came out early, and I got out about 5:45, and the fans were lined up way back through there, and they opened the gate at 6. Now, I can remember with Coach Hicks, we played Madison Central one year in basketball. I remember girls basketball, Coach Helton, we played Lexington Catholic, and we had to, go guard the door. And you know what I'm saying? And we had to have a plan of action, and I was helping Mr. Denniston, and, how are we going to get them in? And so that's what we had to have tonight. It's a neat thing. And, it's not going to happen every week, but I would say thank you to all the fans that came and really encourage them to come back.
Yeah, Coach, I got a message at 6:30, I think it was, before you even started our post-game show, that the lots here were full, and they had people parking in the grass on the backside of the stadium and shuttle buses coming in.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? It just shows that, cool. High school football, it means a lot in Scott County. A lot of places, but yeah, it means a lot. And I was thrilled. I'm happy.
I was gonna say, I thought, in a game like that where it is second half, it did get out of the balance a little bit. Me and Conner were talking, what do you like to see as far as, you brought your JV guys in there? I
brought an in-between team in. I brought some guys in that are second string varsity guys, but aren't really JV guys, mixed with some JV guys. And so, I really like to. I wish we could have played a little better, really, Kaz, with both those groups, offense and defense in the second half. But they got the experience of being out there and playing, and that's important. Our offensive line, 4 of the 5 starters, Greiser, Oswald, Nolan, Salmons all started the year last year on the JV in August. Now, Oswald moved up to the varsity, but then Nolan, Salmons, Greiser were all JV linemen all year last year. See, I could have made you a lineman, but no. So that's a good thing. And so we try to coach them when they're out there, and try to make them better.
Coach, thank you, and great win. Congratulations, and good luck.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Now, listen, we're going to have Kaz, I appreciate it. What have you got any type of plan together for Wednesday yet?
Yeah, we're going to do special teams, and actually we were going to do Skylar Way, but he got player of the game. We might still hang with that plan, though.
And you might talk to Logan Harris?
Yes, all special teams.
Okay, it'd be great. I'll see you all Wednesday night, and big shout out to all our fans, our concession crew, everybody, our moms feeding us on Wednesday. Day in, day out, guys, there's no better place than Scott County High School.
Thank you, Coach. Once again, Scott County takes down Great Crossing 42-21 here at Cardinal Stadium. Kaz, any final thoughts as we bring this post-game show to a close?
No, man, just a great showing from the Cards. You had to have that, especially coming off a good week of Franklin County. You want to bring that momentum to the next week. I knew it was going to be pretty highly intense, but now again you go to a tough opponent, so we're going to see some adversity early in the next week. We'll see how the practice goes. But again, I think Coach will keep the same thing. The only team that could beat us is ourselves. Though we did a good job as far as all 3 units. Team did well. I thought Charlie had a pretty decent game in the passing game when he got the opportunity. And, Skylar Wade had a really good game, obviously. Ranson had a touchdown. Timmy had a touchdown. Red Owens had a touchdown. Everybody gets touches. That's one thing, because you can't win football games with 1 or 2 players, no matter who you are. And Timmy's going to do a lot. He can have a 5 touchdown game, but it's not like we can't go to other options. You know what I mean? Yeah. So being able to spread that out between the offense is very helpful, and that helps our offensive line because they never know what's coming. They can't just guard one guy. They can't just guard 2 guys. So overall, great game from the guys. Great game from the offense, defense, special teams. Great game for the fans, man. Like he said, great showing. And like Coach said in our podcast, games are not going to be this heavily packed unless we play a Woodford in a highly touted or a playoff game, but great showing from the fans. I really appreciate the amount of people, and obviously this cares a lot to a lot of people. The history of this, and this is the first time that Scott County, I've said now a lot, but this is the first time that Scott County could beat them on their home turf, and the first time that they've had a home game in 32 years. They beat them, so that's a lot. That's a lot to the fans, and like Coach says, it's nice to have a nice field that you can share, but when you have it on your own turf, it's next level. So great game from the team, great game from the fans. Cannot wait to be back in about 2 weeks as we host PRP.
Yeah, Kaz, I had a chat when I stepped away. You were talking, but I got close to the Scott County locker room. I was in the hallway, and I can tell you that they are definitely celebrating this win. This win means a lot. You're playing your friends, your buddies, the kids you grew up with, went to elementary, middle school with, and this win definitely means a lot. Again, Scott County takes down Great Crossing 42-21. Congratulations to our Center Point Healthcare Player of the Game, Skylar Way. Be sure to check out the Conner and Kaz show on Conner Sports Talk YouTube. It comes out Thursday at 12. Again, we'll be talking with special teams, our Player of the Game, Skylar Way, and a couple more key players, and then me and Kaz. We'll interview Coach McKee as always. Thank you to Center Point Health for making this game possible, as this has been called the Battle of the Birds presented by Center Point Health. For Kaz Clay, I'm Conner Willhite. We say thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next Friday night. This has been the Scott County Football Wrap-Up Show on Conner Sports Talk.